You were talking about a JT Miller deal? You want to talk about
No, I don't because that's been talked to death.
God.
But I'm seeing the resurgence in other players, financially controlled players, is a very it's a soothing, it's calming. You don't need to overpay for that when there's other goal scoring offensive.
There was one. Oh, yeah.
No. Go.
I was just gonna say there was one move they shouldn't have made. It dominated my summer vacation. It's still there.
Which one?
It's still problematic.
Did you probably get into a slight discussion with your loved one about it before a show and being like, me and Reed, we just kept arguing.
Me and Johnny Depp.
Me and Johnny Depp.
She said she said that he supported the Oliver Ekman-Larsson trade, and she disagreed. And
only one of us can be right. And that one's me.
Yeah, that one's still here. That one's still lingering. It would literally take care of all of the problems.
Oh my God. There's so much money suddenly.
They literally, man. Yeah, it is. It's really crazy, but it is depressing that, the more you look at it, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
But it's okay, well, what if in this second timeline you don't have Patrick and Jim and a new regime with Emily Costin-Gay and all these people taking over? What if Jim and the Jim and Harvard John connection?
Then they give JT Miller $10 million.
Then they give JT Miller $10 million for 8 years.
We don't have $10 million.
They had to find a way.
But we will give it to you.
Yeah, so, we had to, trade Elias Pettersson because, he's making money, but, JT, he's real good.
But we tricked him into taking less money.
Narrator's voice. He actually got more.
It's
like when the Seattle Mariners offered Robinson Cano a contract, and then they went and re-offered because of what they heard, and it was basically they outbid themselves.
Yeah,
and it's like, I'll take $25 million a year.
Yeah. Can I pitch something real quick though? It was a thought I had just on part of the Canucks that Geeta's thing reminded me of.
Oh yeah.
So. I don't know if you guys have heard about this rumor about the Canucks being in the mix for this KHL winger. His name's Andrei Kuzmenko.
I have.
Yeah, so Kuzmenko's former teammate of Vasily Podkolzin.
Oh.
He's 26 years old, right winger, 5'11".
You win with guys like that.
Well, you win with. Well, he's hey man. This is the thing. It's like you're getting a lottery ticket for free, right?
Yeah.
You're signing a guy in a professional league that. Is filled with men and not just a bunch of young kids.
Can I ask you right now? Was Kaprizov drafted by Minnesota or did they sign him?
I think he was drafted by I think he was drafted by Minnesota. He just took a really long time to come over.
Okay. What about Panarin with Chicago?
Panarin wasn't drafted. Panarin
so
was signed by the Chicago
Now we're
Blackhawks.
talking. Now you're speaking my language.
Okay, so I'm not saying that this Kuzmenko's guy is going to be.
You heard it here first. That's Arash Mamarzade's Farsi lock of the week.
That's my lock of the day.
It's a pretty big lock.
That's a pretty big lock. I don't know, Geeta, was that right? Was that right? He was drafted by Minnesota?
Okay.
Yep. Nice.
2015, 135th overall.
He
Perfect.
cooked. He sat in that Russian pot and.
Well, this is what I wanted to pitch to you guys. So it popped in my head. Okay, so let's say they find that Brock Boeser. You look at Brock Boeser's season. Not anything to write home about.
Looks-wise, yeah.
Looks-wise, great. But, again, let's try and not fall in love with players. Let's try and win the Stanley Cup. If they made a move, you look at Brock Boeser and they move Brock Boeser and something else for a defenseman. Let's just say, just for jokes, it's not going to happen, but just for jokes. They go and they trade, I don't know, Brock Boeser for Ivan Provorov. They have to add something to it, but they get Ivan Provorov just as a joke. Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
And then they go, and with whatever money they might save later, they go and they find that they can get Andrei Kuzmenko to come in and guarantee Brock Boeser's spot to him as incentive for him to come over and sign maybe a 1 or 2 year show me deal. Right? You look at and it doesn't even have to be Provorov. It can just be look at if they move Brock Boeser for John Marino and whatever.
And they go, hey, we're looking for any wing spot. We just got rid of this guy, the biggest wing hole, the biggest wing vacancy is there.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you say?
Well, you bring him over and you say, listen, if you come in and you give us, 20 and 20 or 25 and 25, you're literally giving us what Brock Boeser gave us this year and probably the year before that.
Yeah, I like it.
In that way, you're just looking at how do you turn one thing into multiple things.
Right.
So you turn Brock Boeser into an asset on defense, also open up money to go after this free agent that also opens up a wing position so he can finance up blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
As a fan, we always overvalue our own players.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Ben Hutton.
Ben.
But
Ben Hutton.
but in the actual reality of things, do you think this is where Brock Boeser has peaked? Like this is he's good, but this is as good as he'll probably ever be, or is this this is as good as he'll ever be in Vancouver?
Oh,
he could be better, but there's just such a start and stop with him, and so much inconsistencies that I don't know if we'll see it here. Or
right. Like,
Yeah.
like say he went to Edmonton and got to play on that top line.
Well, the funny thing is that you look at his opportunities here. It's not like he hasn't been given opportunities.
No, of course.
And you know what? I kind of agree. Like I feel like it's akin to that saying where it's like I believe in Brock Boeser. I think Brock Boeser is going to be great. He just might not be here.
Yeah. Well, look at all the opportunities he's got. He's gotten every opportunity
Since he got here.
It was you are the scoring winger. Don't worry about playing a 200-foot game. There's no Selke nomination for you. You're going to make as much money as you can, and we believe in you so much that we're going to stupidly backload your RFA deal so that by the time it's over, you're going to be well and beyond a $7.5 million player that we're all going to look like geniuses, and it hasn't panned out. And if you can ship them out for something that the Canucks need, which is any defense, and you can maneuver and through that vacancy, which becomes a selling point to this kid in Russia, all bells and whistles for me.
Yeah, and
I think
that
all green lights.
It's all about how do you fix multiple holes in this lineup, and you look at how close
payday loan.
Payday, money zap. What they said it was interest free. Yeah, for the first 30 days, and there was 250% interest afterwards when you didn't pay it. Tim Heidecker. I'm looking at like what they're gonna do in the offseason, and I think listen, they got really close this year. But again, they're in the dreaded middle, and they have a 0.5% chance of jumping up 10 spots and not even picking in the top, right? So, how are they gonna fix some of the problems? That's a way, man. That's a way where if you're brash enough to go ahead and move Brock Boeser and open up multiple holes. I love Tyler Myers. I don't know if people saw my voting for the Canucks MVPs, but Tyler Myers swept all the awards for me this year.
Right. Okay.
It's a hell of a
Cyclone
year.
Taylor, everything. It's just like Tyler Myers. Best goaltender, Tyler Myers. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what they have kind of up their sleeves, because I don't think this is going to sit well with ownership, with the current management. I just think there's just some stuff in the chain. There's a lot of stuff they can do. They just have to have the.
They're smart, or at least we think they are.
I mean, I hope. I think we all have that PTSD of oh dang. You know what happened is I was at the subway and my phone screen cracked, so I couldn't tell the time. And then Toffoli left.
Didn't save his number.
Didn't save his number.
Unknown number.
Because every time I tried to use the touch machine on my thing, it like pricked my hand, then I got a little bleed on it. And I was like, I just ran out of time.